All right, here we go. Here we go. We are live right now on all of our streaming platforms, and it is about one subject and one subject only today. Ducks. It's chick season. People want to get ducks. I was a victim of this. A victim. I was a victim of this, okay? And I know some of you guys may have been a victim of this or are about to become a victim because this is what happens. You walk into your local feed store, you're like, oh, look at the beautiful chicks. And they just chirping away and they look all adorable and stuff. And maybe you've had chickens before. Maybe you've had backyard poultry. You've had quail or turkeys and all this stuff. And you like, those little baby ducks look adorable. Listen, adorable. It happened to me. Shout out to Cowgirl Cree on the live chat. It happened to me. I'm like, oh, look at these little duckies. They look so adorable. I'm going to grab a few ducks. Well, let me tell you, I had no idea what I was getting into. I did the research, set up a duck brooder, figured out these little tricks from online of how not to have the baby ducklings make a mess inside of their brooder. Guess what? Still made a mess. I'm talking about the paint. We had the paint tray with the grated top. We put the water on top of that. So when the ducks go and drink, and even if they try to jump into the water, when they jump out, the water gets into the tray, right? No mess, right? Wrong. Ducks find a way. Even the baby ducklings find a way. We started out with getting 3 ducks. All right, we got them online, and this is outside of the scheme of our rescue program, the Excellent Adventure Rex rescue program, right? So, of course, we got all these rescues. We got ponies, we got goat rehomes, we have rabbit rehomes, we've got chickens that came from egg farms, as well as chickens that we brewed and raised, right? So we have some pet chickens and we have rescue chickens. We got all of these mixtures of animals. I bought the ducks. I fell for the duck cuteness. All right. Walking in Tractor Supply this time last year on Chick Days. Saw the baby ducks, was like, let me do some research first. Did some research, got all the information, saw that ducks might follow you around. They grow up, they're beautiful. I went online, I looked at the breeds I wanted. I went on a website, a popular hatchery, and purchase 4 baby ducks. Okay. Little cute little ducks. Some of you guys know you've been following us and keeping up with the journey, and we appreciate that. Man, listen. Yes, you're right. Some just reminded me that I also have a livestock guardian dog that was also an add to the backyard situation. This all started from 2 chickens, but let me stay focused on this duck situation because this episode is purely for duck slander. If you have ducks, you can join my live on any of the streaming platforms right now that we are on. Okay, just request to join and someone will add you in. Let me get back to this slander. I get these 4 baby ducks. All right. They in the brooder. They make a little mess in the brooder. Not a big deal. Not a whole big deal. I'm used to a little baby chick mess. Okay. They feather out. They grow faster than chickens. That was a plus. All right. Let me give the ducks a plus for that. They grow faster than chickens. Okay. Let me hit the yes button for that. Yes. The ducks grew faster than the chickens. They feathered out. They were ready to go. Okay. We built a whole duck enclosure. We put the ducks inside the enclosure. About 3 days later, the ducks want nothing to do with us. The ducks have created their own friend group and they don't want to be bothered with the human species. Okay. That was the first thing. So they used to run straight into the coop as soon as we come in. We're nice to the ducks. I'm doing a baby talk. Come here, little duckies. Come on, duckies. Come get some food. They don't care about that. That was the first red flag. Okay. In a relationship. The next red flag is the ducks, like chickens, are delicious. To every animal out there, they know that ducks are delicious. So one night we lose a duck to a snake attack. So we had to reinforce their ducking hen palace. Okay, we reinforced it. We ran hardware cloth around the enclosure so the snakes could not get in. We put cayenne pepper around it, as well as snake away around all the enclosures, because it was a big black king snake. Couldn't find him, but he got to the duck. Okay. Chicken math happens with that. All right. What happens with chicken math? You lose one, you buy more. I lost one duck. Go to Tractor Supply and see 6 ducks. One of them has a messed up foot, a knuckle foot. I don't know what's going to happen to this little duckling. So we say we'll take this duckling along with the friends that were inside of this brooder. We get more ducks. Okay. We got the ducks going. We brooding these ducks, and then we add them to the outside flock. And here's where all heck breaks loose. The ducks are the messiest, most disrespectful farm animal that you have ever seen. Ever. Let me tell you why. You fix a chicken's water and food, and the chickens eat the water and food. Yes, if you don't raise up the water, they scratch some bedding into the water, right? Ducks, a whole different situation. Soon, and I mean as soon as you put fresh water in the duck place, the ducks ruin it. I'm talking mud, rocks, feces, whatever they can get into that water, they do. It's like they wait on you to put fresh water in to muck it up. They love it. That's their goal in life, is to muck up water. All right, shout out to everybody that's tuned in right now. This is a special live. We do this once a year with a live episode of Excellent Adventures. Okay, this is Excellent Adventures. This is a special live edition of the podcast, and I am feeling so strongly about duck slander that I had to come in, because I know what's about to happen. Y'all are gonna walk into Tractor Supply Company or your local feed store, or you're gonna be online shopping at these wonderful sites like My Pet Chicken, who has wonderful breeds, and you see these baby ducklings, but you have no idea what you're into. Now listen, if you're set up for it, which we're about to get to the setup, we're going to get to the setup to keep all the headache away. But before we do that, we have to slander so you understand and know what you're getting into. Okay, ducks are expert level. I am not expert level. Ducks are expert level poultry. Let me get back to why. Ducks ruin the water. So it doesn't matter if it's in a bowl. You get a little kiddie pool. Oh, I'm going to get a little kiddie pool for the ducks so they can swim around. Wrong. The ducks get into the water. They do backflips, somersaults. They start doing all types of Olympic ski moves inside of the kiddie pool. They drag every piece of particle and land into the pool. They poop in it, and it's just a mess. So when you get the kiddie pool, you have to have a place that's easily accessible to dump it. Okay. Hey, Nikki McDonald, we appreciate that. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I am here for anything that I've learned, but today is about ducks. Do not fall for the cute little duckling thing. If you're not prepared to do all of the things to keep your ducks clean and safe outside and to keep yourself from getting a headache. Let me get back to it. A day like today, it's raining today, right? The chickens see rain. The chickens go back in the coop. Minus a few of the cute chickens. You know the rule, chicken people. The cuter the chicken, the less thought the chicken has. So I got a couple of designer, I'm throwing up the air quotes for those who can't see me, designer chickens in the coop that when it rains, they just stay outside and get soaked. But most of the chickens go back into the coop, okay? They say, oh, it's raining. Let me go. Not the ducks. The ducks stay out in the rain. They flap around. They create muddy, mucky messes everywhere. And guess what they do after that? They lay eggs in the muddy, mucky mess. Yes, Clausen Ray just said exactly what I was thinking. These are the special chickens. The special chickens stay out in the rain. All ducks are special chickens. Okay, it's like God said, hey, let me make a waterproof chicken with a squeaker. And that's what he did. And these things, these expert level poultry, are the messiest things I've ever dealt with in my life. And you got to have a kiddie pool because they need water to clean off in between their wings. They need it. So make sure if you have ducks and you have your kiddie pool, right? These are the cheat codes I've learned. Make sure that it's somewhere that you can dump it and you don't care about the grass or anything that where you're dumping it in, because it may create a mud hole or mud area if it's not easily irrigated, if the water doesn't disperse correctly. If it piles up in one place, you're going to have a muddy mess. Okay. Thank you, Sophia. I hope I'm saying your name right. You've probably been down this ducking road before. Okay. Second thing, ducks create mud. So even if you have a beautiful grass patch that you've enclosed and you want to put the ducks there, guess what? They're going to graze. They're going to graze. They're going to run their little adorable little beaks into the ground and make holes. So now you think you got snakes, or you think you got rodents. It's not. It's the ducks. They're making these holes. They instinctually plunge their bills into the ground when it's moist and make holes. So now you think you have a rodent problem. Nope. I put a baby camera in there to see what was going on. It's the ducks. All right. Then you're going to think your ducks are broken because you can't tell, like with the chicken around when they become pullets, when they raise from baby chicks and become pullets, you start to see a comb or fall feathers. And you say, okay, I got a roux. A few months later or weeks later, this roux starts to crow. And you, I definitely got a roux. He's cock-a-doodle-doo, he's doing his little rooster dance, right? Ducks, different story. Depending on the breed, you won't be able to tell if it's a boy or a girl. We don't know if we got Daffy or Daisy. Another problem. I'm going to tell you why this is another problem. Because ducks are violent humpers. They hump violently. And then their packaging, the boy duck packaging, is so different from a chicken's packaging that you can't house them together because boy ducks don't discriminate. They are for everybody. Boy ducks or drakes, just like the rapper, are for the streets. What does that mean, Reece? For those who don't follow hip hop culture, these ducks love everybody. They'll love on a chicken. But the problem is it can kill the chicken because his unit doesn't match up with her unit. Everybody understands what I'm saying that took 9th grade biology or has access to the internet. Okay? Duck pieces will kill your chicken pieces. So if you're just getting baby ducks and you say, I'm going to put them with my chicken coop and they're going to live happily ever after. Wrong. Hit the no button. You cannot do that because the drakes will destroy and defoul, pun intended, your chickens. So you just can't do it. All right. Keep that in mind. You're going to need a second enclosure for your ducks. Now, here's another thing. Chickens will scratch up food and throw it everywhere. I'll give you guys that. I am team chickens all the way. Okay. Ducks, they eat a little neater. I'll give them that. 1 point for the ducks, right? No, because the ducks go to eat food while their beaks are wet. So what does that do to a pellet or crumble? It gets it muddy. And what happens when pellet and crumble gets muddy? It turns into a ball and then it molds super fast. So you got to find a correct feeder, or You have to be willing to feed those ducks manually every day. Why do I say that? Because in an auto chicken feeder or a feeder where you can just fill it up and let the chickens go eat, and they eat and eat and eat and eat and eat, and you got a gravity feeder and the chickens eat and eat and eat. And after a few days, then you have to fill it back up. So you can fill up a chicken feeder. It can last, depending on your feeder, from a couple of days to a couple of weeks, depending on the amount of chickens you have and the type of feeder you have, right? You just got to check it, make sure no rodents have got in it, make sure it's still fresh, make sure that it isn't developing mold because maybe you had some bad feed. You still have to check these things, but it doesn't require as much maintenance as a duck feeder. If you guys have seen our setup at Blackyard Chickens, which I appreciate it if you have, for our rescues and rescue animals, we try to set things up to eliminate the amount of work we have to do with all of the animals we have required. Like, once again, we went from 2 chickens in 2020 to now we have 43 animals, on which about 35 of those are rescues. So I want to put this out there. Thank you for everyone who's a subscriber, a $4.99 per month, $4.99 per month subscriber on our Facebook page, because all of that money goes towards 2 things. One, our animal rescues, all of the rescue animals, their enclosures, their feed, their vet bills. Like this week, we had a down horse, Maggie, our pony. She got sick. She was down. We got a vet bill for over $500 out of nowhere. Same week my daughter's engine blew. Okay. So thank you guys for subscribing. All of that money goes to there. And we're about to give away an incubator setup on the subscription page. So if you want to subscribe, we appreciate it. Thank you so much. All of that money goes to that. And that also goes to the second thing, our Excellent Adventures petting zoo, that we go around to schools and daycares and introduce kids to farm animals in a safe and clean environment. Okay. And they get excited and then they want to farm, and that's free for the school. So all of the money from the subscriptions go towards those 2 programs. Let me get back to slandering these ducks though. Let me get back to it because I don't want to stop. Okay. Duck slander. The ducks mess up the food. So what are we at right now? Let me do a tally. The ducks ruin enclosures. The ducks ruin their water sources. The ducks ruin their food. Don't buy baby ducks if you're not ready to do these things. Now, here's the fix. And if you have ducks, please come online on any of the social platforms that we are live right now and give us your suggestions. I am a new duck daddy. It's only been about a year. All right. But I've found some things that have really helped. 1, cover the ground that they will be on in a semi-permeable material. What does that mean? It means put something between the ducks and the mud. All right. It's just like I come from a college basketball background. My coach used to say, to keep the team from scoring, it's ball, then you as the defender, and then the basket. As long as you stay between the person you're defending and the basket, then there's no mess. There's no scoring. This is what you do with ducks. Long as you stay in between, you have something in between the duck and the mud, you'll be more happy having ducks. I want you to have an enjoyable experience with these cute baby ducks, because it can be achieved. I'm just now starting to love and appreciate these ducks, but it took almost a year because I wasn't properly prepared. And I want you guys, no matter all the research, I don't want that for y'all. All right. So I recommend a few things. If you're balling on a budget, all right, that means I got a few ducks, 2, 3 ducks. They're not going to make too much of a ducking mess. Use wheat straw. You put wheat straw, about 3 to 5 inches of wheat straw down. All right. In the enclosure, the ducks walk on the wheat straw. And guess what? When they lay eggs, when they finally start laying eggs, because ducks are seasonal layers, if you got them to lay eggs, and the eggs are delicious, I'll give ducks that. The eggs won't get all in the mud, because ducks don't care where they lay the eggs. They lay them everywhere. They lay them in the mud. They lay them in the pool. They lay them on the bench. They lay them on a stool. I feel like Dr. Seuss when it comes to eggs with ducks. They don't care. They don't care anything about an egg box. They don't care. Okay. In the mud, if the duck is in a pool and feels like laying an egg, that's where the egg is going. I've never had an egg in the pool though, but I've had it in the mud. You put down some wheat straw. They lay in a wheat straw. Now you have clean duck eggs. Okay. Next, you can also use AstroTurf. You lay down a layer of AstroTurf where they are, and guess what? Any water splashes on the AstroTurf, and I mean like the fake AstroTurf, the water can still seep through the turf, but the mud doesn't get up. Now, the fault with that is the ducks are going to poop. So you still have to spray off the AstroTurf with a hose or something to keep the poop from piling up. All right. This is the creme de la creme that I have come across. River rock, or the circular oval rocks, the big ones or the small ones that are not sharp on the feet. You know, the little tan and white river rocks, they're round or ovalish. We just put the river rocks in, and it has been a game changer because the ducks can walk on those rocks, right? And when it rains, we don't get mud. When they splash around in the pool, they don't drag all types of mud and stuff in the pool. They're still going to poop in it. But we now have a surface that is conducive to ducks. So now we've got a layer of wheat straw down on top of the river rock, and now we don't have mess, and we've got clean eggs. Okay, so now it's a more enjoyable experience. The ducks are still going to splash around like nobody's business in the water, and they still need to be separated from your chickens if you have drakes, if you have male ducks. All right. And also, let's just say you buy 3 or 4 baby ducks and they're adorable, but you don't know if they're boys or girls. They grow up. You've got one girl and 3 boys. You need to separate that lady from the boys. I'm going to tell you why. Because duck doing it culture is very aggressive. And if one boy duck pins down one female duck, the rest are coming. Literally and figuratively. And you don't want that for your female duck. So separate her. Now we have our 4 boys separated from our 5 girls. And it's more peaceful. I can see that the girls are less stressed. So what do? Let's go over what we got so far. 1, we've got a layer of rocks down, which is a little more expensive. All right. A little more expensive. Shout out my boy Antoine. AB crazy. All right, a little more expensive. You could put down the rocks and put down some wheat straw. Let's say you don't want to do the rocks. Put down the wheat straw. You just have to replace it every few weeks because the ducks will find a way to kick up and destroy this wheat straw and get back down into the mud. Okay, so you're going to have to replace it, but it does work. All right. And then also find a feeder like we did. Find a feeder that works. We use, I believe it's called myhens.us. Please mistake me if I said it wrong. It's on our Instagram page. We just posted a video as well as our Facebook page. We posted a video of these new feeders. They've been working great. And it also keeps our ducks from making it so nasty inside of the feeder. All right. So that's a plus. That one worked really good. It's a gravity bucket feeder system. And it was all inclusive. It did not come with the bucket and the top. Okay. So make sure you get tops for the bucket because usually in your duck enclosure, you're going to have an open top, or we've got a shade over ours, but the rain can still get in. Put something over the bucket. All right. Next thing with your coop, ducks are not going to get up high to go in a coop. They need something they can just walk into like a dog house. Just make sure that you can open the top or get inside of it to clean it and also to collect eggs if they do lay in there. All right. So you want a coop that's pretty open. They have duck coops, or you can use a dog house, or you could just make a little shed or something like that for your ducks. Okay. But ducks are not going to get up and get high into an egg box or jump up into anything. They'll rather just be outside in the elements. All right. So that's another thing. You also want to get water sources for ducks. You can't use, well, I don't think you should use a chicken waterer because ducks need to fully submerge their beaks inside the water in order to clean out their nostril holes. Nostril holes is not the scientific word for duck holes, but we all know what that is. All right. So get a water source that they can fully submerge their beaks into. Now, remind you, if you get a big bucket water source, like a big dish, like a dog dish, just be fully prepared that you're going to have to fill this thing up about twice a day because they're going to find a way to swim in it or knock all the water out of it. All right. But once again, once you set yourself up for ducks, and they are not going to use a nipple feeder. Somebody, if you've successfully used a nipple feeder for a duck, please tell me how. Ducks will not use it. And because one, they cannot submerge their beaks to clean out their nostril holes. And it can be really dangerous for them if they're not able to clean it. So you want to have an open water source, or they have duck feeders that we've posted on our pages too, that you can see about that. And you can check them out and see the difference between a duck waterer and a chicken waterer. All right. And you can see the difference. So those are things that you want to have, and you will have a very enjoyable duck experience. And then if you want the ducks to follow you around, you have to imprint with them. You have to bond with them. So as babies, you need to be playing with them every day, feeding them by hand every day from the jump. Like soon as if you hatch them, soon as they come out the egg, you need to be talking to them and feeding them. Or if you get them from a hatchery or nursery or your local feed store or a rescue like we have, you need to be feeding and trying to give these ducks as much attention as possible young so they can grow up and build trust with you, and then they won't run from you as soon as you put them in their enclosure. Right. If your goal is to be able to feed the ducks like people do at the park, you need to make a relationship with the ducks. The reason the ducks at the park come up to people and eat is because they are so used to people feeding them. All right. And also, don't give ducks bread. It's terrible for them. Terrible. Get some scratch grain or some black soldier fly larva or something like that if you want to make friends with ducks at the park or your own ducks. All right. So those are the things that we need to keep in line. We're going to go through the quick list one more time to have a pleasurable duck experience. If you're brooding ducks, make sure you use the paint tray method for their water. If you don't know what that is, it is posted on all of our social media platforms as well as our website, blackyardchickens.com. We have the baby duck set up. Second, your duck enclosure for when they're ready to go outside, unless you're keeping a house duck. Okay, then you're gonna have to invest in duck diapers. Unless you're keeping a house duck, you need to have a few things in your enclosure, and this will make your experience more enjoyable. One, something on the ground to go between the ducks and the mud that is also absorbent. So you don't want to have like barn stall mats, because what's going to happen is the water is going to just pile up on these mats and never seep through to the ground. So you want to use sandstone, not sharp rocks. Don't get cheap and buy gravel, driveway gravel or something like that, and it cuts your ducks' little feet up. All right, their little quacky feet. Okay, you don't want to do that. All right. You want to also get a place that they can go into, a coop or a little dog house or something that they can go into that they do not have to climb up, because they won't. All right. Next, you want to make sure that you have a feeder that is conducive to duck behavior. They are going to mess up the food, but make sure that you find one like we did that is best for them, that they can't mess it up too bad. 3, they need something to fully submerge themselves in a pool or something. And in the wintertime, you may just have to bring them out fresh water every day. All right. Because they need to be able to clean underneath their wings. They don't really dust bath like chickens do. They need to be able to get in the water and knock everything off of their wings, like parasites or things that are bothering them or irritating them. All right. And then you also need a waterer that is made for ducks so they can fully submerge their beaks into and clean out their nostril holes. All right. And then fourth, love and care for the ducks. Get out there, shake it up with them, talk to them, feed them, try to hand feed them, build a relationship with them. All right. And they will become your friend. They will imprint with you. The sooner, the better. I mean, the earlier in life, the better it is to do that with the ducks. So try to start from the babies if you can. And then also separate the drakes from the ladies. And never mix boy ducks with chickens because they will tear your chickens a new one. Everybody that's grown knows what I mean. Okay, that's it. And then you will go from a no to a yes. All right. Your duck journey will be great. That's 30 minutes, y'all, of Duck Slander. I love you guys. Thank you once again. Please subscribe to our page because all of the funds on our paid subscription for Facebook goes towards our animals. We got 36 rescue farm animals, including 2 little piggies. We just got Wesley and Miss Piggy. No name. We don't have a name for her yet. 2 potbelly piggies were rehome rescues that needed a better situation, and we have them now. We've got 2 ponies, Maggie and Jesse. Maggie was just sick last week, so all of the it's just $4.99 a month, and it goes towards some incredible stuff. Plus, you get access to our podcast videos as well as all the contests. We just ran a contest for an incubator. We're about to run another one for a baby chick setup in an incubator, a $400 value, and you could win that. And then we just have a lot of great information on there too. So we post a lot of stuff on our free side. We appreciate everybody for following us and rocking with us there. But if you want to support it, whether the animal rescue or you want to support our Excellent Adventures petting experience, where we take the animals to the schools for free. We don't charge the schools or the kids. We take them for free. If you want to support that, it's just $4.99 a month through our Facebook subscription. And the link, I believe, is in this chat as well as on our page at Blackyard Chickens on Facebook and Instagram. Listen, I appreciate y'all. Thank y'all for bearing with this ducking mess. All right. And this episode, of course, along with all of them, will be on Excellent Adventures podcast. That is on all the streaming platforms. We appreciate y'all. Thank you guys so much. Once again, we are gone. I'm up out of here. Welcome to Excellent Adventures, where I, your host, Reec Sweeney, take a step away from my duties as a radio and TV personality and give you a first-hand look at my other love, backyard chickens and homesteading. Take a listen to conversations I have with others who are in farming, homesteading, and connected brands. And some of those conversations go a little like this.
She does say I have too much, though. She says I have too many, but I don't think I have enough.
The chicken math started mathing.
Yep. It's never ending.
I only started with like 4 laying hens. Now I have over 100 chickens and geese and quail.
So the first question we ask everybody that comes on to the Excellent Adventures, what was your old cluck moment?
The first thing that comes to mind is when the first time I got locked inside one of my own chicken coops.
We talk about the highs, the lows, and everything in between.